and welcome. Today is a special video because actually I haven't printed what I'm about to show you. A friend of mine from work has given me a Star Wars Stormtrooper helmet. Yes, he's got this 3D printed, he's glued it all together and has coated it in a thinner primer, which is what you can see here. He was planning to use this as a master mould to make other products with, but never got round to it. But remember to subscribe and hit that bell notification to be updated for the rest of this series. Okay, starting off with a surface primer. I've already given it one coat of a white primer, but after a bit of sanding it didn't do very well, so I'm going to give it another coat of a grey primer. So just easy, nice, gentle strokes. Make sure I'm not holding it in place for very long, otherwise it all bulges up and goes runny and that looks absolutely horrible. But yeah, making sure that every single inch is covered. Just holding that on that spray can. Just put the lid down. Yeah, just getting the back side of it now. Make sure every square inch is covered in a nice fine coat of grey primer. I found the grey primer is actually one of the better ones. Makes everything stick quite nicely, so I highly recommend this brand. It is the... one second. I have a can next to me. It is the Rust-Oleum Surface Primer Superior Edition in a grey. Definitely recommend that one, folks. If you are looking to prime anything. But yeah, it gives it a nice, fine, flat grey coat of paint. Always do it in a well ventilated space as well, like outdoors. Make sure it's not too windy, not too wet, not too hot or cold. Temperature, everything has to be just right when it comes to timing. And yes, I am doing this on top of my compost bin, or that the council come and collect, but oh well! At least I know which bin is mine. So moving on, once the primer's finished, this is the next day. Again, it was really nice and sunny, so I pulled out the white spray paint. And this is literally directly after work, just check the zoom there. And again, I'm using a Rust-Oleum white, but I wasn't too impressed with this one, so I go back to another can of white spray paint, which I don't know the name of right now, but I'll put a name up or something, I don't know. This one spits a bit at me, this design, with the trigger. I thought it'd be easier to use. It's got a nice nozzle and a nice spray, but I found it spat a lot, which ended up with clumps, and I wasn't very impressed with it, so I won't be using it again. Like I said, this is directly after work, so I'm still in my work clothes here. So, I'm sure they won't mind. But again, nice, gentle, slow strokes, because this is going to be the main coat now. Making sure that I'm getting every single bit covered in a nice, fine coat of white. Make sure there's no grey showing. And I do a pretty good job at it. As you can hear, the spray is spitting quite a bit. You can actually see it on the top of the bin there. So, like I said, I'm not overly impressed with it. And yes, that red pouch on my hip there is a first aid pouch, because I'm a first aider at work, before anybody asks. I had a bit of a problem with the spray. It's not working. I got it working again, just cleaned out the nozzle. I should be wearing a mask. I know I told you in previous videos I should be wearing masks, but the wind was enough that I wasn't too fussed. But instead I ended up coating my camera in a nice fine white spray. But doesn't seem to have I've managed to wipe it off the lens. So anyway, as I said, I actually do put a second coat of white spray on this, but I seem to have lost that bit of footage, so, but I'm sure you wouldn't have wanted to see that anyway. It's pretty much the same thing, just lots of me spraying and spraying. Now we're indoors, the white coat is done. I'm quite happy and impressed with it. So it's nice and smooth. I'm now just going to gently pop out the eyes. These are just bits of card that were glued in place. This is, like I said, a couple of days later once the paint is dried up. So just taking off the last bit, a couple of excess of the glue and everything. So that's one. Now onto the other. I had to use quite a bit of force, but I was very gentle, so I didn't break the 3D print. But it seems to have held up quite nicely. A bit of a chipping with the paint, but I used some of my Tamiya white paint just to go over those again. And once the lens is in, you won't be able to see it. So there we go. We have some eye sockets now. So I can pick it up and move it with my hands. Yay! So first off, we are going to get our black paint, I think, yep, with a nice big thick brush. I don't know why I show you the brush, you can't see the number. And I'm just going to use this to do the black headband with our X1 flat black. Give it a good shake. And yes, I am doing this all freehand. I'm a little bit worried about using masking tape, but I've been recommended a brand to use in the future, so I will be using that. And now just to speed it up a bit, because this was a very, very long process. Say I'm doing this all by hand with no masking tape or anything like that. I'm actually really happy with how it comes out eventually. I know it's looking a bit rough now, but I do smoothen it out and make it perfect, so don't worry about that one. And you can actually see the size of the room I'm working in here. That's my computer behind me, to my right, and then to my left is the spare bed where I do all my painting and everything on the board that you normally see in for the backgrounds. So it's a bit of a cramped little room, but I'm happy with it. And I'm now going off on a tangent and rambling, but oh well, who cares? You've come here to watch me paint things, not listen to me talk, I guess. Maybe. So I'm actually really, like I said, really impressed with how this one came out. This is just a part 1. I'll have a part 2 up later, where we will be finishing it off. So just getting the underside of the rim now, just to fill it all in, make it look decent. What I'm doing here is literally just using nice long slow strokes just to fill in the main part, go over it all and everything. Don't want to be rushing this. And of course I smudged some paint on the bottom half. Thankfully I've got some white Tamiya paint and it fills it in quite nicely, so I'm not going to complain. Adds a bit of weather into it, I would say, once I added the white paint over the top. And it blends in quite nicely and you can't see it from a distance. I've done a lot of touch-up work off camera after this, so just going over the top, trying to get a nice gentle line. Just checking my phone to see what colour everything is. So yeah, just trying to find out what all the colours are and everything. And now onto the front grille section. I will admit, I kind of messed this bit up, so it doesn't look as good as I'd hoped, but I'm still happy with it. The problem I had here was mainly due to the fact of the primer that he used, the filler, and he's admitted to himself. I'm not chatting down on him or anything like that. This is a discussion we had. Unfortunately, when he filled it in, it kind of got rid of a lot of the detail in this section, so I had to sort of make do with what I had. And again, once I put my paints on it and everything, any detail what's there was just sort of overcoated and not very visible, unfortunately, but it's nothing I can't sort out. So now I'm going on to the, so that's the front done. I'm now going on to the little vents on the front. I'm just filling in the holes for now, but I do change tact later on when I'm doing touch-ups and everything. And I've just completely covered it in grey again, and I'm going to repaint that whole section. So there you go, there's that bit done. So just doing the last little bit of detailing, make sure everything's looking good before I put the black down. And there we go, that's the black bit done. I'm now going to be moving on to a grey. So using a ocean grey. So you can see there the vent I told you about at the bottom just doesn't look as good. There's not much I can really do about that, unfortunately. Okay, so now on to the fine details. Again, I'm actually really happy with how this came out when I was doing it. Until I put my arm in it and spread paint everywhere. Oops. But yeah, that actually, and it merges with the black quite nicely. I'm really impressed with that. So now onto the other side. Again, nice and gently around the edge and doing what I've been taught is called cutting in when you're decorating a room. So I'm using that principle here. And probably anyone who's a model maker or painter is like, duh, of course. But hey, I'm young and learning, and you're learning with me, and that's all the fun that we need. There we go, that's that bit done. And now, so I'm going to finish off that black bit, just sort of make it match up and everything. Now for the rest of the vent section, this doesn't look as good because there's white bits showing up. So like I said, I'll just cover the black over with grey again, and I'm just going to fill in the black parts later on. So it's really nice, really nice actually to be working on such an iconic piece of Star Wars and sci-fi in general. So yes, to my friend who's hopefully is watching this video, thank you very much for giving me this. I am definitely going to be giving you something in return. So don't worry about that one, and there will be a video made of that process as well. But right now I'm a little bit busy, so there you go, that's me smudging paint on it. Now onto the back sides, final two back panels. So again, just going around the edges, just making sure I've got a nice straight line to work with. And just filling it in. A little bit more paint on the brush and we're good to go. Just fill in the hole. Now the other side. And you'll probably see my arm get coated in paint any second now as I touch it like an idiot and smudge grey paint everywhere. But again, I managed to fix that in post-production with a bit of white paint. No one's the wiser. There we go, that's the back of that done. Now I'm going to do the weird Grille things on the side, just definitely checking that they are grey. You know, don't want to make a mistake or anything. Yep, they are grey. So now just giving them a good coat. Getting in between. I have no idea what these pieces are for. I think they're meant to be like an attachment point or something. I'm not 100% sure, but they look cool. There you go, there's the smudge on my arm, and I'm like, oh, damn it. So, told you I would do it. If I don't get paint on me, is it an actual episode of MrBenn Makes? Probably not. I need to get paint on me somewhere. Because I'm a mucky pup. There you go, you can see how bad it is on, on the bottom of the screen right there. So that took a lot of white paint to fix up. But I got there in the end. So, cannot complain. There's me showing the camera going, I'm an idiot. It'll be fine. Now doing the other side, just to finish that off. Nice and gentle like. But hopefully as I grow in my channel and everything, my painting skills will get much better. I mean, this is the first helmet I've ever painted. So yeah, this is very much a learning curve for me. I am definitely planning on more helmets that I'm going to print and build myself. So you'll get to see the whole process, not just the painting side of it. So just trying to get the... There you go, just cleaning off my brush, and you can hear the printer going off in the background because it's always churning something out. Always printing, always going. Now I'm just getting the white paint because I said I was going to do it, so I'm going to do it. I'm going to try and touch up some of the rest of the model. There you go, just going over the top there where the grey was. And that music means we're coming close to the end of the video. So I've hoped you have really enjoyed this video, ladies and gentlemen. If you would like to see more, please remember to like and subscribe, leave a comment. Any hints and tips you have, that would be amazing. I have got the lenses ready to be inserted. I have got the vents printed off. Just need to get those painted up. So that video will be along shortly. And then I've got to figure out how I'm going to mount it to my head without it spinning around all the time, and making sure I'm able to shoot and see things. Maybe tell if Luke Skywalker was telling the truth or not when he said he can't see. The white took a few layers to get it done, but anyway, I'm happy with it. That is the end of part 1. Thank you very much. Good night, and I will see you next time.